Welcome to this week's session with Putnam County District Library. This week we are looking at Google Translate. This project is supported in whole or part by the Federal Institute of Museum and Library Services funds, granted through the State Library of Ohio. The opinions expressed herein do not necessarily reflect the position or policy of IMLS or the State Library of Ohio, and no official endorsement by either agency should be inferred. So let's get started. Let's look at Google Translate. You can go to Google Translate by simply being logged into your Google account, and then if you were to just type in Google Translate, or the web address is translate.google.com. When you go there, you will get a screen that looks like this, where you see Google Translate at the top with text, images, documents, websites listed. Those are all the things that you can translate from one language to another. I will say that we were recently visiting in Quebec, where French is spoken. This can come in very handy, especially even on your phone, because you can just scan and it will translate for you. So what I'm doing is I clicked here on the arrow because I want you to see all of the different languages that you can possibly translate to. The most common that you're going to see that you would be using probably are across the top with English, Spanish, and French. That's because that's with my area, my region, that's what comes up as the common to be used. So I can simply, with text, I can simply just type something in here. So or better yet, I can actually speak something as well. So if I click here on my little microphone, what's going to happen is when I click here, it's going to translate my voice. So when I click and I speak, whatever I speak is going to appear there. Otherwise, I would just do the pencil where I would simply type. I would like to know where to get food. So that is what I am translating from English to Spanish. If I were to say, well, I want to translate instead, let's say I want to pick a different language. So I am going to simply say I want to translate to French Canada. Same thing. I get that translation there. The next thing that you can do is with images. So if I have an image that I want, maybe I have an image that has text on it, and I want to be able to see what that image is, what it's saying to me. If I were to take something and I simply have this image here, lunch break, and I'm going to say I want to translate that to Spanish. Now all of a sudden I have that translation. I can download this as well. The next is a document. So if I have a document, same concept here. If I simply take what I would have typed, and I'm going to drag that across, I'm going to say translate to Spanish. And then when I open up my translation, you're going to see it translated. What my English said was, it just simply said, come to the Putnam County District Library to see all the new books and activities. So it translated that. And the same concept here, I can simply download that and save that if I so choose to. I'm going to go back. Notice it did open that in another tab as well, just to make note. Google Translate, I'm going back to, and the last thing that I'm going to show here is with websites. So if I simply put in, I'm going to put in the, actually mypcdl.org website, and I put that in. Now notice what happens. It has translated from English to Spanish here. Do make note. Here, notice, Summer Reading Challenge has not been translated. That's not going to translate because that is a physical image that is embedded in the page. So what I'm going to get translated are the other places on the page where it's not an actual image that is part of it. It can't do both in terms of that translation there where we've got an actual image. Okay, so that is what you will see, what you will find when you use Google Translate. Pretty simple. You can save your history. You can, and then you would always have all of that information back at the saved star button here as well. Because if you noticed, when I was in here at text, I have this little star. So if I saved here with my and put my star, then now all of a sudden I have that translation saved if I ever want to be able to refer back to that. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. And again, make note that these are put in part on by the Institute of the Museum and Library Services funds, as well as the State of Library of Ohio. I hope everyone has a fantastic week.